back. Today we are resetting for April. I love doing these monthly resets and I always get so excited when I'm looking on my calendar and I can see that it's almost the next month because these are just such a fun time to kind of plan for the month ahead, organize your life, do all those little things that you often neglect to do, but just setting aside a day to get them all done. And I of course love to share everything with you guys. I always like to make a fun drink for these, whether that be a matcha or coffee, but today I'm actually gonna make a little mocktail. It's more so the afternoon right now, so I felt like that was more the vibe. We are gonna make a basil cucumber cooler. It sounds delicious. I'm actually gonna use my micro drink from Water Drop. I've talked about Water Drop before, but they are amazing. If you are someone who struggles with getting enough water, if you're someone who doesn't love the taste of water, I would highly recommend Water Drop. They have a bunch of different flavors, but today we're gonna use the Focus one. This one is lime, green coffee, and a Corolla. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm also gonna use some orange juice. It sounds great, but they have a bunch of different micro drinks depending on the flavor that you like in particular. I am someone who loves flavored water, but I like it to be really subtle, and that's why I love Water Drop, because it just adds the slightest taste to it. They don't taste super sugary or anything, and they really do make me drink so much water. They also have really nice water bottles. I'm always using their water bottles because their whole mission is just reducing the use of plastic, which is great. And they're always made with natural fruits and plants. They're vegan. I'm just such a big fan of Water Drop. Down in the description box, I'll have my unique link. You guys can click that and get various discounts on the water bottles, the micro drinks, whatever you're into. I'm such a big fan. You can also use my code Michelle too, and that will get you various discounts on those products. Such a big fan of Water Drop. Cheers, looks so good. Let's give it a try. Ooh, the basil adds the perfect touch. So good. For today's reset, I want to reflect on last month's goals, see what we accomplished, and then set some goals and intentions for April. I also, like always, want to fill out our calendars, including my work one on my computer, but then also my family calendar that I also like to fill out right here. I want to do a bit of budgeting this month. I also want to work on my business expense sheet. I want to do a little bit of a digital declutter, and then I also want to share some current favorites at the end of this video. So lots to get done. Let's get started. I also wanted to mention that I'm still using Notion right now. That's what I use for all the planning and everything. I have a template that I really like that I've been using, and so yeah, big fan of Notion these days. For March goals for work, I had one creating more spring content. That has definitely been happening. We've done lots of spring videos lately, which makes me really happy. I had to focus more when checking off to-dos and just not getting as distracted. I would say that that's pretty much happening, but I can always be better in that department. And then I also had to try new things in terms of work stuff. And honestly, I feel like I haven't done this that much. I would still like to, in April, try a couple of new videos that I've never done before. I feel like in other areas of my life, I'm trying new things, but when it comes to work, I haven't as much, and so it's definitely something I still want to focus on. I had to keep up with my daily vitamins, including my probiotic, vitamin D, prenatal vitamins, and all of those I've been really, really good about taking. I feel like for the past few months, I've really taken just supplements and everything a lot more seriously, so that's great. I had to get more sun. I've also done that, except I did get a little burnt recently, so I took that one a bit too seriously. Still need to wear sunscreen, obviously. I had to stop picking my skin. I feel like I've been better at this, but my skin lately has been breaking out a lot. You can't really tell right now. A little bit on this side, you can tell. And so that's frustrating. I've just always had acne. I feel like I've tried everything under the sun and my skin is just always in a state of having pimples, but I feel like I have been better at not picking at my skin, but I just still keep getting breakouts. For personal, I had meeting new people. I honestly didn't really do this. We have met some new friends recently, but I haven't been going out of my way to try to make new friends, and I feel like that's okay. I've been trying to focus on the friendships that I do have. We're about to spend this weekend with our friends in Austin, which will be a ton of fun. I had to observe Lent, and I have been doing this. I've been really focused on just my prayer time in the morning, and I also never shared, but I have been giving up alcohol for Lent. I really don't drink all that often, but it is something that I like to do when we go on dates or hang out with friends. I like to enjoy a drink. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but I feel like it has been nice just not kind of keeping up with that habit and being totally sober. It's nice. I feel like I have a very clear mind. I've been wanting to do more reading, especially on the effects of alcohol on your brain and everything, especially when you can make a nice mocktail. It's like, who needs it then? I had to finish our apartment for our apartment video. That happened. The apartment video is live if you guys want to watch that, our apartment tour. I had to bring the balcony garden back. That has happened. It's actually doing so well. I feel like the flowers have been going in and out of being in bloom and then not being in bloom, but they're all still alive and really pretty, so thankful for that. And then for finances, I had less impulsive Amazon purchases, have been good about that. And then I also had to finish taxes, and those have been signed, sealed, and delivered, and that is just the best feeling ever. For April goals, I wanted to start just by reading this quote because it's kind of my mantra for this month. I'm trying to focus more on other areas of my life besides just work. And I found this on Pinterest and it just really spoke to me. And it says, a list of green flags you should strive for. Choosing to listen before you speak, embracing empathy as naturally as breathing, being unafraid to chase your passions, even the ones that feel out of reach. Being kind just for the sake of it, loving boldly and recklessly without sacrificing yourself in the process, not centering yourself in the midst of someone else's grief, holding yourself accountable even when it isn't easy, not taking yourself too seriously, choosing to hope, allow yourself to be free, communicating your feelings in a gentle way, always being willing to ask questions, celebrating your friends even when you aren't where you want to be in life, staying present in a moment, setting boundaries for yourself, not for others, choosing to make others feel safe with you. I love that. Being open to learning, even if you already know so much, staying curious, being a person who defines success differently than the world tells you to, knowing how to stick things out, also knowing when it's time to go, taking risks and making mistakes, even when it's terrifying, giving yourself grace in the process, going out of your way to understand others deeper, being a person who chooses above all else to love, to hope, to grow. How sweet is that? There were so many little tidbits in that I just thought were so sacred and nice to focus on for the month. For work goals, I only have a couple. The first is to finalize new brand deals. I'm really excited. There are a couple of companies that I'm very much looking forward to working with and really excited about them. So I'm really praying that those get finalized this month because they're brands that I just absolutely love. And then I also had to possibly set up calls about hiring someone. There are a couple of areas that I would love to have some help. And I know a couple of people I've been thinking about possibly talking to. And so I would love to get the ball rolling on those if possible. For health, I had to do more yoga and just stretching in general. I've been really trying to focus on some lower intensity workouts that are actually quite hard. It's very rare for me to go down in our gym and just do a yoga workout or a strength, or I do strength workouts quite often, to do a stretching workout, but I would like to add those more to my routine. So I'd love to do that. Another thing I'm trying to do this month, this isn't really for Lent, but I was thinking about how I have been a lot more aware lately. I've talked about with cleaning supplies and all that, just the amount of toxins and a lot of the stuff around our home, specifically with candles. That is a big area that I love candles. You might notice I usually do a cute little intro with me striking a match, lighting a candle, but I've been trying to not use candles as much. I would really like to switch to more essential oils, like getting a diffuser or something. That's something that I'm considering, but I'm doing a candle cleanse this month and I feel really good about it so far. Getting a massage, this is random, but I love getting massages and I've just been craving it. I've been trying to kind of cut out some purchases here and there to justify it in the budget because I think it would be really nice to get a massage this month. And then of course, still I had to stop picking my skin because that's something that needs to stick around for the long haul. For personal, I have quite a few. The first is to book our summer trips. There are a couple of trips that we want to go on this summer and I would love to do those in advance. We are notorious for booking our flights and our hotel accommodations very last minute. And so I just want to be more proactive this year about booking those in advance. So would love to make that happen. Getting back into sourdough baking. Oh my goodness, guys, I haven't made sourdough in so long. My poor starter has just been sitting in the fridge for weeks. I really need to feed it. I just have not had time lately. I feel like sourdough is such a commitment, but I'm thinking about going back to my older recipe that was a little bit easier to do. I just miss having that fresh sourdough. We have been buying it from Whole Foods lately, but I'd love to get back into sourdough baking. I had to memorize more scripture. This is something that I did last month. I feel like I didn't see that on my list of my goals, but I have been trying to memorize more verses and I feel so much better when I'm in a situation where I feel maybe worried or afraid, which there were definitely a couple of those moments last month, to have verses just to remind myself of where I find my trust and my hope. And that is something that I want to keep doing next month as well. Reading for fun, that's another thing. I have been reading a lot of books that are very like informative, but I would love to start doing some more novels here and there of just fun books. Let me know if you have any recommendations, especially thrillers. I've kind of been craving a good, maybe like PG-13, nothing too graphic thriller. If you know of one, let me know. Attending a class at our church, that's something that both Aiden and I want to do. Our church is really nice where they offer these classes every now and then, and there's one that we really want to go to, so I would love to make that happen. And then lastly is to celebrate Aiden well, because his birthday is this month and he is turning 25. Which is crazy. We've been together since we were both 18, so it's really sweet just celebrating like 7 years of knowing each other, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. And lastly, for finances, I only have a couple. The first is to cut out excessive purchases. And I actually did this for the first time today because I got my acrylics off. We just have some bare nails today because I've been trying to think of ways just to cut back on, especially those monthly expenses that aren't necessarily a necessity. I also just wanted to have bare nails again and not always have long nails with stuff getting stuck under them. I'm also a nail biter, so that's the reason why I love acrylics, but I'm challenging myself just to not bite my nails, keep my nails bare and nice, and also save some money in the meantime. And lastly is to get a business credit card. So we've officially set up a business account. We've started doing all the proper things that you should do when you own a business. And our last step in that whole process is to get a business credit card. So would love to make that happen this month. Next step is filling out our calendars. I'm gonna go ahead and work through my work calendar and just make sure everything is on here, everything is in place. And then I'm also gonna go into our family calendar, which I've showed before. I keep this over by our door and just write any important dates, anything that we wanna have top of mind, kind of more personal stuff. We're gonna keep everything on here. Next up, I want to do a little bit of budgeting. I always share this, but I do have a budget template that Aiden and I made forever ago. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be linked down below. It's just a Dropbox link. For me, this is a time where I like to go through all of our statements and just see where we've been spending the most money, the least money, and see where we can cut back or save. And so I find doing this once a month is really nice just to get an overview of how everything is looking instead of just letting the wind take you wherever you want, to actually be aware of your finances and see how you're spending money. Next up, we're gonna work on our business expenses. So this is something that I started doing this year in the resets because I am not someone who keeps up with my business expenses very well. This is part of the reason why we want to get a business credit card. It just makes it a lot easier to have everything in one spot and know that everything on that card is truly a business expense. But right now I basically just go through the month and kind of divvy things out manually myself, which isn't the most fun, but having this time just makes sure it actually happens and also makes doing our taxes a lot easier when that time comes around. Friend who decided to join for our digital declutter. And for this, I just like to go through my wallpaper and organize everything. It tends to get a little chaotic. I also like to go through my photos, delete stuff, my wallpaper, clear out my spam in my inbox, all those things that often get overlooked, just to start with a fresh space. Now we're gonna finish off with some current favorites that I have been loving this month. The first thing is actually a music recommendation. I have really been liking the artist Forrest. He does a lot of kind of more vibey worship music, and his stuff is just so relaxing to listen to. And I've been trying to, in the morning when I'm driving somewhere, especially in the morning, I've been trying to listen to more worship music in the car because I find that it just puts me in the best mood, but it's not always the most vibey music to listen to, and that's why I love his, because I've found it just really pleasant, and I'll have it linked down below if you guys want to check him out. Another favorite has been lemon water. I've really been liking just squeezing some lemon in my water. I've really been liking my Stanley cup, and I'll just put a couple squeezes of lemon in there with a lot of ice, and it's just so good, especially in the springtime. I also got a bunch of PJ sets from Old Navy recently that are just cute, kind of springy PJs, and I've been loving wearing those to bed. There's just something about wearing like a cute PJ set that's just such a vibe. I don't know, it's always something that I look forward to doing, changing into a PJ set. I'll link them down below if you guys want to check them out, but really been liking those. I have a moisturizer from Drunk Elephant that I've really been liking. They were really sweet and sent over a PR package of a bunch of stuff, and I've really been liking using those. It's been approximately a few hours with these nails, but I can already say the natural nails, I love them. It's so nice just being able to grab things and feel more nimble and not, you know, held back by my nails for the first time in a while. So I love them. I wish you guys could see Cash right now. He's in the weirdest position ever. Lastly are a pair of trousers. I got these from Nordstrom Rack and I've been wearing them all the time recently. They're so comfortable. They're just kind of these wide leg trousers. And it's fun every now and then switching it up and just not always wearing jeans. I think that the trousers are a cute look, and I really want to try the ones from Abercrombie and Fitch. I feel like those are really popular right now, but would love to try them. And that is it for this monthly reset. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys feel prepared and prepped for April. I'm really excited for what's to come. I did want to share too, again, if you guys want to check out Waterdrop, I will have them linked down below. You can use my unique link to get a discount, or you can use my code Michelle, and that will get you some money off any of their products. So definitely check them out. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.